Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to the weekend. I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we will go over to those particularly disgusting looking Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yes, Bitcoin on the 4-hour. We are down at our support level, as you can see here, this low level of support. Obviously, we were all looking good for a nice bullish break and a run towards 44,000 and potentially beyond. But the Fed chairs and the Fed presidents even, and the obviously, and then subsequently the stock markets had other plans. So yeah, here we find ourselves. All I will say is, relative to stock markets, as you can see, this move down, came down to the support level, tried to break back above this resistance, and we're back down at the same support level. The same cannot be said for stock markets. They came down to that support level, bounced off it, came down to it again, and they not only did they get slammed below it, they even got slammed below the next support level as well. And actually, if you want to extend this trend line, well, you can kind of see we're back in our channel. We forward checked, we back checked, and then we went straight to jail. Basically, we did not pass go. We did not collect our paycheck. We just got slammed. And yeah, interesting enough, that is where we ended. This is not obviously a good looking chart. All you can say about this was selling into the close is like, this isn't necessarily the end of the selling. It was just the end of the time there was to sell, i.e. the bell rang, and there was no more time for selling. So does this look good for Monday? Not at all. Does it mean that we could open up lower and trade lower on Monday? For sure. Let's see what happens over the weekend. I do think there is some risk in the market from the French elections that are this Sunday, with the right-wing populist Le Pen. They just markets just want to punish people like that. They like the globalists. They like the basically the corrupt criminal Macron types. You know the types. That one in Australia, yeah, not the one in Australia, the one in New Zealand, that one, that Trudeau in Canada, that Biden in America. I mean, you could say Boris Johnson, but all I would say is UK is a bit more insignificant. But yes, you get the picture. If that gets mixed up a bit, then markets just won't like that uncertainty. They won't like that uncertainty. So we'll have to see what happens. I do think this is potentially what's pricing a little bit of this in. Also, what we need to look at is another disgusting chart here. The DXY looking like it was trying to put in a pullback, and then obviously, like I said, the Fed presidents came out, started talking about 75 basis point raises, and I mean, at the end of the day, when you got inflation running wild, then yeah, I mean, the only way at this present moment the Fed can combat inflation is to cause a recession or depression and crash markets. That is literally the way. The Fed rate raises don't reduce global conflict. In fact, if anything, they actually increase the chance of it, because countries will be struggling. They will elect people into power. There'll be uprisings. So yeah, that's basically what will happen with obviously collapsing financial markets. And then also what we have going on is what else was I about to say? What else I was about to say? But yeah, it is just not good for markets as a whole. We've obviously got the battling with the yield curve in Japan. And yeah, the only obviously, as you guys know, I can always dig some bullish case up, some bullish case scenario, and the bullish case scenario is that we are likely, if this continues, to see a massive inversion in the yield curve, where you'll end up with like the 10s, 20s, 30s, well, maybe not the 10s, but the 20s and the 30s, so 20s, which is essentially TLT, but also the 30s as well. We will see the duration basically rally, i.e. those yields come down, and then what that leads into, basically, when you get long dated yields come down, that is what tech stocks are. Tech stocks are basically duration. They're basically growth. You're basically betting on getting that income stream in the future, and And so following from that logic, tech stocks could then start to perform relatively well at least, and obviously then following from that logic, crypto is pretty much tied to tech, isn't it, at the moment? So whilst it does hopefully have its underlying bullish drivers where it can potentially decouple to the upside, obviously we don't want decoupling to the downside, only a bullish decoupling from stock markets. But if we get this rally in duration, then a rally in growth, potential rally in Bitcoin, along with all the other underlying bullish factors, and obviously the fact that Bitcoin has practically, just look at the chart, it has just been up only. In fact, we'll get to the monthly. It has just been up only forever. If we scroll, it's just because we're not on a long enough chart. But obviously, you guys know that Bitcoin's come from basically pennies to obviously the level that it's at now. So yeah, oh no, that's why, because we were on the DXY. Here we go. Yeah, we go, up only. Bitcoin is up only, and this just looks like the latest bull flag before another leg of up only. So yeah, so what that means is that we do have underlying bullish factors for crypto alone, let alone maybe a tailwind from obviously growth tech, and obviously a rally in duration. So yes, the 10-year, speaking of bonds, the 10-year is not looking so bad. This is kind of why this sell-off is maybe not as alarming as it could be, because as you see, the 10-year is not doing anything wild. That is kind of one of the partial tells that this could potentially just be due to uncertainty over the French elections, because obviously this US specific US 10-year is not really reacting to it, whilst obviously other barometers of risk are. Yeah, I mean, it's just this is just relentless. This is just not what you want to see going into a weekend. It's not what you want to look at. But could it be a strong bottom in inverted commas? Potentially. We'll see what happens in France. Can we bounce off this downward sloping trend line here in this channel? Yeah, we clearly could. If not, we've just got our levels down here. Retest these lows, and it would not look good at all. But yeah, I mean, double bottoms are a thing. I don't potentially believe in them. If we come down here, I mean, you've got to expect that we got a good chance of breaking even lower. But yeah, gold not faring too well. Silver not faring too well here. Oil off a little bit, but you can just see a tightening range, realistically, tightening range there. And what else? Anything else? Yeah, Bitcoin dominance. Interestingly enough, as you can see, down a little bit here, even in the face of a sell-off, which is obviously good to see. Good to see as an altcoin enthusiast. Yeah, the Ethereum Satoshi Brain, like I said, this is looking like it could roll over, but it hasn't yet. And yeah, we could obviously break onwards and upwards if we do see a bit of bullish recovery. Like I've said, with this bearish price action, if it hasn't been driven down, as soon as we get potential stability or bullish price action, maybe this will just pop to the upside. The USD pairing, I mean, yeah, we extend this. We need to extend this this level over, and we can see where we're basically getting supported. We are in major support, basically. This is the sideways level that we're currently in. We tried to break above, rejected, back testing the lower level of support. If we can just maintain this area, if we basically maintain here, which is roughly 2,900, obviously the lower side 2,800, then yeah, it won't look too bad. Is this capitulation stock market? This is not really what capitulation looks like. Capitulation will probably be we open up on Monday, wipe out this 1.618 basically from our March pullback. But yeah, hit that, and wick below, and then come back up, and that will potentially be what capitulation could look like. Maybe even hit a 3K handle on the S&P, and then things turn around. Yeah, things are pretty dire at the moment, but all I can say is basically when sentiment is bearish, everyone is bearish. It is looking pretty disgusting. then that is the point where you do have a good chance of the market turning back around. You climb that wall of worry. It's obviously a bit overcooked now. This bounce up, this move back down clearly is overcooked. I mean, I don't need to draw a fib on to tell you this is way below the 618 retracement. But yeah, so aggressive sell-off. Let's hope it is because of France, and then it resolves in a way that is just good for markets regardless of anything else. We don't care about their politics. Let's just pump our bags. Anything else? Yeah, stochastics. Let's look at them. Let's look at those. Yeah, 4 hour coming down, but it's gonna run out of. It's gonna struggle to keep coming down from here. 10 hour diving, still got a bit of room to dive. 12 hour turning down, got plenty of room to go. Daily, interestingly enough, is pointing up, so that is good. 2-day potentially going to turn up from a low level, so that is maybe not so bad. 3-day, which has been diving for a while, is getting lower, so ultimately it has to come lower before it can go back up again. 5-day has turned down. Weekly is still pointing up currently, and bi-weekly looking to sit up, so it would not be a surprise at all if we do kind of turn around, have maybe a capitulation, even if Bitcoin comes below here, we get back above this support level and then move onwards upwards, turn these longer time frames, stochastics around, and then yeah, get a really nice bounce, potentially as high as around 60k, and then maybe that leads us on to new all-time highs. We shall see. All is not lost. Like I said, the most positive thing I can think of at the moment is just the extreme negativity, ironically. And also, yeah, if we do start to end up with a bit of a nightmare scenario, we will get the long end. We'll get a rally in duration that could feed through, obviously, to a rally in tech stocks, which then could feed through to a rally in Bitcoin, and we could not look so bad. But that is the best I can do. Optimism wise, that is the best I can do. Speaking of optimism, let's hope we get this optimism airdrop soon, because those extra funds to invest in things at these lower prices won't go amiss. Maybe the layer 2 season can get crypto going again. Maybe we can have that L2 to 2022. We've obviously got Optimism. We've got Arbitrum saying that they're going to be the main course after obviously the Optimism starter. We've got ZK roll-ups as well. So yeah, let's see if we can turn this around and have a nice little couple of months of a rally. Honestly, sometimes I do surprise myself with how optimistic I can remain given these dire scenarios. The one main optimistic take though that I will tell you guys is, like I said, we are holding this support currently in Bitcoin. Stock markets have not held the relative support, and it's not even held the support below that either. So on Monday it could then make a beeline for the next level, and yeah, that is a relative strength of crypto based on the levels against stock markets at the moment. So that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. There won't be a video tomorrow because I am out in Leeds for a friend's birthday. Yes, there won't be a video in the morning. So yeah, have a good weekend, and I shall speak to you guys soon.